Do you want to look?
The hardest thing of it all was to look down there and see that and understand, you know, once upon a time he was this type of athlete, and this, you don't even know if you're gonna walk.
I'm sure everyone watching this video has had some health complications at some point in their life, and for Coach Prime, it's no different. Recently, he's been struggling with some foot complications and has actually gotten 2 toes removed from his foot. And despite these health issues and maybe some of the hate that he's been receiving from people about Colorado and the coaching staff and the new players coming in, the exodus of players that left, he still finds a way to win. And I came across this interview that I wanted to dissect a little bit because I think it really shines a light on what Deion Sanders has done for Colorado and why he always wins.
I'm interested just to hear you, like, why Colorado?
Why not? Here? Why not? First of all, our beloved AD, Rick George, gave me a tremendous opportunity. Mm-hmm. He laid something in front of me and I saw candidly a need. I'm a need to be needed type person. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it, I said it. Okay.
I love what Coach Prime is saying here. He sees a need and he sees an opportunity to better himself and to better a program, a football program, doing something that he's so passionate about. I think so many times in life, I can just kind of keep busy, but not really find needs that or problems that need to be solved. And I love that Coach Prime saw an opportunity to really impact people at Colorado, and he's been so intentional with this time. So intentional because it seems like so much has changed since he's been here. Let's continue watching.
Are you surprised by the reaction from the outside of what people are saying about the exodus?
No, not whatsoever, because it's always been that way. Even when I was starting out in sports, I was the one that was not voted most likely to succeed. Undersized, this and that. It was always a problem. It was always that until I got out there and did it. Then, we knew all along he was going. No, you didn't. Stop.
And here again, we get to see some of the adversity that Coach Prime has faced throughout his career, because he wasn't always the top dog. He wasn't always #1. He actually had his fair share of people that doubted him. He probably had to deal with his own self-doubt. But it's funny how people tend not to be on your side until you're successful. So Coach Prime is getting at, like, look, you're going to see how successful I'm going to be here this season, so you might as well start hating me now before you see and get an opportunity to see how successful this program is going to be.
From my seat, I think it's like almost like a prime effect.
Right.
And the prime effect is that those that want to see you fail, everything that happens, they're going to take and make it a 10.
Right.
You know, so they're going to multiply everything that they say and do by a 10.
True.
And then there are people that also think everything that you do is the best.
Seems like you either hate what Coach Prime is doing or you absolutely love him and you're absolutely jumping on the bandwagon like this guy right here.
And you start looking at the 24 class. What will it look like moving forward? Because it won't look like this.
It better not,
right.
Because that means we missed.
Right.
That means we didn't assess talent properly. And we've missed on a few young men that we brought in with us. But they forgot to point it out that we got rid of them too. Because we missed. We were wrong. Sometimes you got to say, okay, I'm wrong. Okay, we missed. And let's go get it right.
I love how Coach Prime talks about the real possibility of making mistakes and somewhat failing in this section of the interview, because that is a real truth. Like, they could have assessed talent incredibly wrong, or they could have hit it straight on the nail and Colorado could blow every team out of the water. And that is such an important part of coaching, is assessing talent. From my experience playing college football, each year you're gonna have coaches that are gonna try and bring in better and better players, because that's how you better the program. So being able to assess talent and a player's potential is really important in college football.
I have seen no one to disagree about the level of the coaching staff. So why would you find fault in the way we're going about acclaiming the kids.
Right.
But you said nothing about me assembling the coaching staff.
For me personally, I feel like I've seen a lot about players that have come into Colorado and a lot about players that have left. But it does seem like there's an emphasis on players that have left. Coach Prime is probably more focused on the players that are here now, and he's recruited a bunch of players from the South because he says it in this interview. I mean, think about it. Where are the best schools in college football? The SEC. The best players in the country come from the South, and Coach Prime is trying to recruit some of that Southern talent over up to the mountains of Colorado, the Rocky Mountains. I don't know what they're called.
We don't have nothing for sale. We ain't selling nothing. We ain't selling you no dream or no vision. We ain't selling nothing. It is what it is. I'm too honest and straightforward to be selling you anything. Yep. When they get here, it's a wrap. There's no way you could look out the windows of our offices and see how beautiful the mountains are, the landscaping and the university and just the city, it's the weather. It's no way. You have to sell this place. It sells itself.
Yeah, for people to say that Colorado University doesn't have anything to sell or like doesn't have anything going for them, it doesn't really make much sense, because if you're a recruit going to Colorado and you just look at the views, you look at the opportunity that there is there, of course you would want to go there. And Coach Prime is thinking like, what have I missed out on my whole life? Like, why wouldn't everyone want to play football here? And it seems like so many times colleges are trying to sell a dream to players that they're recruiting. Oh, you're going to make all this money, especially with NIL now, and you're going to you're going to have an amazing career with us. And Coach Prime doesn't have to sell any of that, because he's like, look, this is all real. You know, this isn't a fantasy. This isn't a dream. Like, you're living it out right now. Like, this is the dream. This is where you need to be. I don't have to fake any of this. And I love that about him. I love that about Coach Prime.
I would say, I think that there are questions about assembling a culture.
What is a culture?
Well, you tell me.
No, give me the definition. Everybody brings it up. When I was at Jackson over the last several years, they always talked about a culture. I said, explain what that means. And everybody's understanding of culture is different.
I would explain culture. Now, listen, I was raised by a Marine, was in Vietnam. He was also a high school football coach. The culture for me is the standard.
There you go.
And if the standard is always going to be what everyone has to reach for.
Your definition is totally different than the definition where I just came from. I love your definition.
It's pretty obvious to see that the culture has changed at Colorado, and it is the new standard. I love what they said in this interview. I think the culture should be the standard, and Coach Prime and the Prime effect is taking place in Colorado. Go ahead and hype up Coach Prime as much as possible. You and me, we can build a family on this channel. Let's go ahead and just smash the like button and comment down below what videos you want to see about Colorado next, or whatever it is, guys. I'm here for it, and I'll see you in the next video.